Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Iman.
And I'm Amal.
And welcome to another episode of the Weird and Wonderful podcast. Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. Apparently every topic is my favorite topic. But today we're going to be talking about friendships.
Yay!
Yay! You're my best friend.
Thank you.
There's no reciprocation. Am I not your best friend?
Friends, you are a good friend.
Okay.
But
see, for me, when you say I'm a good friend, it just makes me feel like I'm not good enough. That's what I feel good friend is.
Good is literally baked into the title.
I know, but it's like not good enough friend. Because I've always seen it's like best friend, and like the ones that don't make the cut are like your good friends, and then you have friends.
Yeah,
And then
I don't know.
acquaintances.
I feel, when I was a kid, I would have like, okay, yeah, I have to have a best friend.
At least two.
No, I
One on
always
your
had
left, one on your right.
Oh gosh. What's the two angels' names? Wait, it's not. Okay,
yeah,
sorry, forget.
angel on
Yeah,
your left
but
and
I
right.
can't remember. Okay, sorry,
Okay.
continue. I
Okay.
thought
You were gonna
that was
say?
a missed opportunity for a joke. Sorry. Right. Best friends. Yeah, I thought you need one. I thought you had to have like a label for one person in your life like that. Oh yeah, no, she's my best friend. But as I got older, I just realized that I have different friends for different things. You know, I mean, not like I'm using them, but like I have good friends from my bachelor's program. I have good friends from my master's program, and I have friends who I can have fun with on this thing, and then I have friends who I can talk to about this other thing. So like I don't have, like I don't give that title best friend to just one person, like an all encompassing. Like I don't feel like I have that.
I can be that for you.
So desperate. No, but yeah, it's
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
I mean, that way I don't put any expectations on anybody,
fair enough.
you know?
Fair enough.
So I'm just not gonna put all the weight of my, like, oh, you
Life.
have to be my best friend. No, I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what were your friendships like as a child? Like, not for a best friend, like just like in general, what were your friendships like?
I did have a best friend
Yes.
in primary school.
Yeah.
Uh,
She's still your friend till today?
She's still my friend till today. We're not as close.
Right.
But when we meet each other, it's always fun.
Right.
But that being said, now when I meet her, a lot of the things we talk about is the past.
Right.
And I feel like that's how it is for a lot of my long-lasting friendships, the friendships that I've had since primary school. Now, the basis, the foundation of our friendships is always talking about, oh my God, do you remember?
That time.
Yeah. It's always like that. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I'm just scared of the day where we run out of memories to talk about because we've literally talked about everything.
Like, remember that sleepover of 2008?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Fair enough. But what were your friendships like? Would you say they were more carefree, more relaxed? Did you have any expectations of your friends when you were a child?
Not really. They were just my friends because we went to school together. I saw them every day. And then, we sort of bond. Like, I had a group, as you would in, like, primary school. And it was just another thing. It was just like, oh yeah, I love my friends. I go to school with them. I hang out with them. But I feel like that was the extent of it. I don't know if I'm describing that. Like, how about you?
I think I feel pretty much the same because when you are a child in school, your friendships are contained to like your classroom.
Exactly. Yeah.
So for me, when I think back about like my friends that I've had, yes, we still have like a WhatsApp group of like our class, but would I say that we're friends? Probably not.
Right.
We meet at reunions. We meet whenever like someone has a child and does like a birthday party. But it's not like I'm like, hey, Sarah, let's go out for coffee. You know, I just don't have that connection with my friends anymore.
Yeah.
Because when I look back on it, what are the things that we used to talk about? We used to talk about homework.
Boys. The things that aren't really part of your life anymore.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because you have since grown.
Right.
And I guess like also when we were younger, probably much different till today, is that we didn't have phones.
Yes.
We won't be like texting after school or like
No.
liking Instagram photos. There was MySpace and Facebook,
That was,
but I mostly used that during computer class.
yeah. And that was just sort of like, oh my God, so who are your top friends?
Yeah,
Like
who
your top
am
four.
I a top friend?
Yeah. And it was, that was it.
Yeah.
That was the extent of it, because it's not, I mean, right now it's more like scrolling, right? It's just like a timeline. Dulu MySpace is just, this is your profile, this is my profile,
Right.
And
And I used to have friends who had friends from other places on MySpace. Like, okay, for example, like we went to school in like Ampang, right?
Right.
And these friends of mine in Ampang would have had MySpace friends in like Subang.
Right.
And they'd never met these people.
But they
But
talk.
then they would say, oh yeah, my best friend is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've never met her.
Right.
And she's like a top friend.
You're so offended.
No. And the fact that you would say someone, because for me, the title of like best friend or like good friend holds a lot of weight.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because, that's the person that knows a lot of stuff about me, that is like my go-to. So for you to call someone who you've like never met before your best friend, nowadays possibly it happens because of like the internet.
Because
and, like,
I do have a friend, I think I've met her like 2 or 3 times, but like we started talking online and like we get along so well. No, we met through another friend. Another friend introduced us online.
who, do I know this?
Yeah, I
person?
no, we'll talk
Okay.
about it. Anyway, but basically like when I did meet her, it was great.
You're not being catfished?
No.
Like, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, no, but she was a good friend of my other good friend. So
Okay.
it was, I could trust it.
Okay,
It's
okay.
the whole system, I trusted it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, but yeah, now it definitely happens, I think.
Yeah. But this whole ecology of friendships now, right, compared to the past, is you really can't really beef up any of your friendships, because when you're younger, it's just in the classroom. It's
Right.
like you just do homework together. Sometimes you have play dates on weekends.
Right.
But now as an adult and in this century of social media, it's like, girl, you didn't like my Instagram photo yesterday. I thought you were my best friend. There is that dynamic now of that, like.
So I just avoid that. I just don't like anybody's Instagram photos. Seriously,
But
I don't.
I do know of some people as well now that before they put up an Instagram photo, they have to like send it to their best friend and be like, "Does this look okay?"
Are you for real?
Yeah, there is. There's all these memes now, of like, I think there's this meme of this guy like hyping up your best friend's Instagram photo even though you've approved it 3 hours ago. And at first I thought it was funny, but it actually is a thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, like that's how connected friendships are these days. And I find that now also as we're adults, this whole friendship thing has got to like a whole nother level,
Right.
because now you have the power to go out with friends.
Right.
Because before you had to be like, Mama, can I go with my friend 3 weeks from now to the mall so we can go to McDonald's? That was like, it was planned.
Okay, that's still
That's still kind of your thing. Okay, for me, it's not. For me, it's like, hey, babe, like, when you want to hang out, let's go,
Okay, fair enough. To be fair, yeah, I make plans and then I tell
Right,
my
right.
parents and our parents, and then see if it jives with their plans. So it's still, I'm like halfway. I'm still,
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
But now that you have so much freedom to do whatever you want with your friends,
Do you actually do it?
for me, I honestly find it kind of exhausting.
Yeah, of course. It is like, I feel like I'm that kind of person who needs to recharge after I see people. Yeah, I just have to be left alone. Like, don't talk to me for like 24 hours. Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, the whole exhaustion thing. And now that you do have that power to go and see your friends, do you actually
Yeah.
go and see your friends?
And sometimes you bump into like old friends or acquaintances or whatever, and it's like, oh babe, we should totally catch up. Oh
That
yeah,
doesn't
just let me
happen.
know when you're free. I don't use that lightly. For me, when I say it,
That means you
I
actually-
actually
Yeah.
want to go and like
For sure.
go out for coffee like once or whatever, I don't use that as just like
a courtesy to
yeah,
say.
like,
Yeah. No, I understand.
because I will follow up.
Right.
At least if there's anyone that I said I will go out for coffee with you and I didn't, please text me. But I do, when I say, oh, we should do something, like maybe like a couple of days later, I'll text and be like, hey, when you free,
Right.
and commit. I cannot stand people that cannot commit. Like,
Right.
yeah, let's do something. Okay, when? Where? What time? You just tell me and
Yeah.
I will be there.
For sure.
You know, so I feel like even now with friendships, like there's always a certain sort of respect that you have to have. Like you cannot take your friends for granted.
Definitely not.
That they're just going to be there to like give you an invitation whenever.
Yeah, for sure. Look, for me, I have several groups, right? Like
Right.
different people that I hang out with from time to time, and we always see each other. Like the plans always come through, and whoever cannot make it, like from the get go, they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and like I really like how that group works. And have another one that we haven't seen each other for the longest time, and we live quite far away from each other. Like these few people live here and I live in this area, so it's really hard to plan something. And I have tried on several occasions to be like, okay guys, who's free on what date, these dates, where shall we meet? Like I've taken charge and I haven't gotten any reciprocation, and that's really frustrating to a point.
Yeah.
You know, so I decided that the one friend who was actually like replying and like, I'm like, you know what, dude, let's just go. Two of us, let's just go. And we did. So I have decided that if I want to see a specific friend, I'm just going to be like, yo, Saturday next week, you free? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, because that's so much easier than like doing all that and then like, oh, this person can't come, oh,
And then
can
you
we
feel
move the date?
disappointed, yeah.
And like, and I don't want to put that on them either, because I understand everybody is very busy.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own lives, they have their own families, like I get it.
It's not like when we were kids anymore. We
Yeah.
had nothing but school. You know, now
Exactly.
we have like all these other
Commitments
things.
and work and
And okay, so it's also interesting to think about friends that are going through like a life change.
Right.
Like getting some extra baggage in their car, you know, like
A spouse.
a spouse or
Or,
like kids or like more adult responsibilities. How do we kind of navigate that, especially with childhood friends? Like you're so used to seeing them in their like baju sekolah, and finally it's like they're breastfeeding a child. You know, like how do you...
I feel like you have more experience with this. I like a good friend who has a child. I think I just have one, and even then, like we haven't spoken in a while. So, yeah.
So how do you imagine it to be? Because I don't think you've had it happen to you a fair bit, but having a good friend,
Right.
and then suddenly she gets married, and then you can't hang out with her as often.
I don't. I know it's gonna be different, and I think it's just you're just gonna have to accept it, because it's just the way life goes. You know, the next thing that happens is people get married and people have children, and yeah.
People have more adult responsibilities.
Yeah, and you're just going to have to accept that some people cannot make time for you. I feel, you know, there's that whole thing where they say, oh, the people who matter will make time for you.
Yeah.
I believe that to a certain extent, to a certain point, because I understand that sometimes they just don't have time, you know, and they do have time. They're tired. They need to sleep, or they have family that they
Other
have to make.
priorities.
Other priorities. It's not that you're not a priority. It's just that there are other priorities that are more pressing. You know, like they have to hang out with their parents or hang out with their grandparents. So, yeah. So that sentence, I feel like it's thrown around too much to the point where people who legit don't have time, they feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
You know, when I think no, you shouldn't feel guilty, because sometimes you just don't have time, and that's okay.
Yeah. I kind of enjoy it when a friend goes through like a life change or something exciting,
Right.
because that's like a new topic that we can talk about.
Right.
But I do understand that because I don't have any children yet, when I hang out with people who do have children, I just don't understand what they're...
Going on about,
Yeah. No, I'm interested to know, but I can't relate, and I cannot contribute anything to the conversation. So I feel like kind of like a bum. But when it comes to like people who are married, who are maybe in the same like life phase as I am, then it's very easy to have a conversation.
Right.
I was recently talking to Ashraf about it as well, that, you know, I guess what has replaced school for us is work.
Right.
And when you're working with the same people 5 days a week, like, you know, 10,
Same
12
boss.
hours and all that, you
Yeah.
have so much in common.
Right.
And you become really, really close, because you go for coffee together, you go for lunch together, you are going through the same kind of problems together, they understand, you know? And then when you leave that job, you leave that group of friends that you are so close to.
Yeah, because you lose your common point.
Yeah, you lose your common denominator. So for me, it was really sad, because, you know, I really enjoyed, you know, the group of friends that I was with. And then when I no longer was working at the same place as them, I almost felt like I lost our friendship.
Right.
And I tried, I tried like, hey guys, let's all hang out together. Like,
you lost the umbilical cord
lost
of your friendship.
I did. And it's like, okay guys, like, when do you want to hang out? Like, who's free? And just like you said, like, some people just don't put in as much effort anymore.
Right.
And it's like, I didn't mean enough to you to wanna, now that we're not working together, for you to come and hang out with me.
Right. No, but
sad. No, it's really sad. I just feel like left out.
Right.
I just feel left out.
Yeah, no, I understand feeling left out, you know that. But yeah, I just have to accept the fact that sometimes people don't feel the way I feel. You know, like it's not reciprocated. But then for me, I feel like my situation's slightly different because I've been away for a while. You know, I just got back. I haven't been seeing people. I personally haven't made enough effort to go and see people. And then I see people getting together and I had no idea about it. And like, I feel like
on social media?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you guys didn't invite me. Like, I'm home. But then again, like, is it fair of me to feel that way? Because I haven't said hi to them either.
Right.
You know? But then, like, my angry self is like, oh, but some of you know I'm home. Why didn't you, like, suggest that I come? Blah, blah, blah. You know? But then, like, on the other hand, I'll be like, Amal, but you haven't done anything. You don't make an effort to go out. And everybody knows that you don't really like going out at night, you know? And, like, so, yeah, so I just go back and forth. But I always make sure that I land on the point where, Amal, don't blame them.
Right.
It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it is.
So would you say you have FOMO, which is fear of missing out?
It's, for me right now, it's not fear of missing out. It's more like I wanted to see people. I wanted to see people again, people that I haven't seen in years because I've been away for so long. Yeah, I don't think it's missing out. I don't think it's FOMO. It's just like, oh, that would have been nice if I had been there so I could have said hi to all these people.
Right.
Yeah.
I think also you and me, we are just the type of people where it's nice for us to have friends,
right?
But we don't necessarily need friends.
Yeah, it's not my lifeline.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
As compared to some other people who they really crave like social connections and friendships. For me, yes, I need social connections. I mean, I'm not a hermit, but I don't need many. Like for me, honestly, like if you look at my text, it's like you, our mom, and Ashraf.
Yeah.
And that's really all that I need. And sometimes I have friends that like text and ask like, what's up? Like, let's hang out or whatever. I have maybe like 3 or 4 friends like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't have like a big group of girlfriends or we get together every weekend. Sometimes when I see people do that, I get not envious, but I get curious. Like, oh, I wonder what that feels like.
Yeah, no, same. Let's just put it this way. When the time comes for me to get married, I won't have a bride tribe. Like I won't have that.
You'll have a gal pal, which will be me. Just me.
Just you. You know what I mean? Like when I see people have like, they have surprise bridal showers, surprise baby showers, or just like surprise sleepovers and stuff. Like I don't have that. And I've made my peace with it. Even though like sometimes I'm like, oh, that would have been nice. But at the same time, like the friends that I'm close with, we don't do that kind of thing. And it's fine. The important thing is that I do have, like a few friends that I can really talk to. And when we get together, we have meaningful conversations. And I think that's the extent of how my friendships go. And when people do have these like showers and
themed
parties, like, is it for the gram?
Right.
Yeah. Do you actually...
I guess for some people, it truly is to show their friend that, we appreciate you. And
for sure.
we know that you love this, like, theme, for example.
Right.
Like,
good point.
You know. Like, recently, one of our friends that we mutually know, she had, like, a white chicks party for her friend.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was so
cute.
lovely. Like, to know that your friend loves this movie so much. You planned a whole lunch party for
a white chicks
party.
You know who you are. That was an amazing party.
That was so good. I was really impressed by the cake. I just thought that was really amazing.
Yeah, okay.
But
you have a good point.
Yeah,
yes, you're right.
But at the same time, I also know that naturally Amal and I we're kind of lone rangers.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
We don't need like best friends to like take us throughout the day, that we have to
like we
text
don't
all the time.
we don't drop by people's houses just to say hello. Like that doesn't happen.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
Yeah.
because that's just how some people are.
And
but
we're not like that.
And on the other range, I think there are lots of people like us that only have a few friends, a few good friends that they meet once in a while, not every day.
Right.
And they're fine with that. And I feel like in this day and age, people glorify friendships too much. Like, oh, if you don't have friends, you don't have friendship, you don't have a bride tribe, if you don't have like a threesome or a foursome, whatever, you're missing out.
Right.
And I don't really think that's fair.
Yeah, because some people just don't operate like that.
Yeah. And everyone operates differently.
Right.
And for me, I am not a clingy type of person. I know it may not come off like that with Amal, but I'm very clingy towards you. But I'm just not a clingy person. And for me, friendships drain me sometimes.
Yes.
Especially when the friend needs me to text every day, to say, how are you every day, to be like, let's meet up once a week. For me, that's very draining.
Definitely.
Because like you mentioned, now I have other priorities.
Yeah.
You know, I have my own family, I have my in-laws, I have my husband, I have like some stuff that's going on that's going to be really cool that I'll share later. But, you know, I have other things going on in my life. So friends like that drain me.
Right.
And for me, they're not long lasting.
You'll burn out.
You'll burn out, especially when the friend expects you.
Yeah, that's another thing, like being this whole expectation thing. It's not.
Have you had friends that you have not met their expectation and they like mrajo or like get upset at you?
No. Really? I don't know.
You've never had?
Don't think so. The closest I've come is probably you. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes Amal, I really don't like it when you don't pick up my calls.
Sorry, I just leave my phone charging in my room. Can you just accept that?
But I really need to talk to you.
Call Mama.
Okay.
I'm probably with her. Yeah. No. Okay. Speaking of friends in general, and Instagram friends on Instagram, like, are you an Instagrammable friend?
Do you mean, am I an Instagrammable friend, or are friends I know Instagrammable?
No. Are you an Instagrammable friend? Like, if you were to hang out with somebody who has like a nice feed, would she Instagram you?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to think I'm pretty fun to hang out with. But I guess, yes, I do know that some people live their lives on social media. Every date, every like friend hangout has to be documented, has to be like posted up on social media. And that's fine. You do you, girl or guy, whatever. And I guess for me, there was a phase of that, of like, every time we hang out, like I gotta either take a selfie or I gotta take like a photo, what is it called? Like a posed photo of us, like,
oh, the laughing thing,
you know, just to document that this thing happened.
Right.
We met on this day, October 21st at here, wherever that is, you know.
Huckleberry.
Little Rimba, you know. Shout out to those restaurants. But
oh no,
yeah.
Breakfast Thieves, is that where the stairs are?
That's where the stairs are. I have never been to
I've never
Breakfast
been.
Thieves,
I see that all the time.
but I feel like I've been there because the amount of people that have posted it, I feel like I've been there. But you know, there are those people that have to document their friendships that way. And yes, I guess for me, there was a time where I'm like, I need to post about this. You know, Ashraf picked me up from the LRT today. I need to post about this. But now I'm like, I don't need to share that. And there have been many times, and I don't know if people take offense that now I just suddenly stop doing it, that when we hang out, if we do take a picture and I don't post it, I wonder if they feel offended.
Right.
But maybe not, because I guess I just have friends who don't really care about that kind of stuff.
If they mean enough to you and they know how much you mean to them. And
social media doesn't matter.
Yeah, it won't be the measure of your affection, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But sometimes I do feel for the people who do live their lives on social media, when we do hang out and we do take a picture and I go home, I'm like, she hasn't uploaded our photo. Am I not Instagram worthy?
Yeah, no, that's happened to me before.
Really?
Yeah, no, I have a friend who like, always Instagrams the people go out with and whatnot. But then like when I met him, like, yeah, we took a picture together, but the picture didn't go up.
Really?
Yeah, so I was like, oh, all right, okay, cool. Yeah, so
it hurts, but okay, cool.
Okay, cool. No, but basically what it means is that I don't know. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I personally feel.
But I don't know why. With some friends, it does rub me the wrong way because we have this one friend that I used to.
You want to go there?
Yeah, I do. That we used to hang out and we had like a nice time, whatever. And we'd take pictures, like lots of pictures. And she'd never post them.
But she'd post it of her other friends.
But she'd post it of her other friends.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and the other friends that she would post, our demographics are just very different.
Right.
So I'm like, am I just like not good enough for you to show that we hang out?
Right.
And even though I know that I'm over it,
it still comes back and you think about it. Yeah, no, for sure.
Hurts.
I think.
Because it's like, oh, really? Like, I'm not worth it to be that friend. And that person and I are no longer friends.
Right.
Not because of just the whole Instagram thing. Maybe it possibly was a factor at some point, but it's just, we just grew apart.
Definitely. Yeah, no, I think that it's just, it has become a measure of your affection, I guess.
Yeah.
I know I said that just now, but now thinking about it, maybe it has become. Or is it not a measure of affection? It's a measure of how Instagrammable you are. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just not sure.
No, I think a lot of people can relate to this whole, are you Instagram worthy? Are you feed worthy?
Right.
You know, because some people you want to hang out just because they're good friends, but you don't necessarily feel like you want to put them on your like social media.
Right.
But some people you don't see them as often, but when you do, you need to let the world know that you're hanging out with them.
Right.
Because of whatever purpose. But for me now, I've realized that I just like friendships more without having all these like expectations of that I'm gonna post about it or whatever it is. Just, I mean, when you hang out with your friends, you just want a cool time. You don't want to have to figure out, is now the time to take the photo? Is now the time to take the photo? Should we take the photo now? Should we do a selfie? Should we ask that waiter to like take a photo of us, you know? Or should it be just be a photo of like this brunch set up here? Should it be at the stairs outside at Breakfast Thieves? You know, like it's so many things. And I just feel like at the core of it, why is it that we have friendships?
Right.
We have friendships because we want to be socially connected. We want to be with people who enjoy the same things we do. If your friendship stresses you out,
get rid of it.
Cut it out. Like, not everyone is meant to be friends with other people.
True. Definitely.
That's such a huge message that I feel more people should know.
Yeah. Don't force it. If a friendship needs to be forced, it's probably not friendship.
If people don't give you the same sort of respect, if they don't respect you as a person, they don't need to be your friend.
Yeah.
If you are going through something and suddenly all the people in your life who is like, oh, we're like close friends, suddenly you go through something
and they disappear.
And they disappear, not even a phone call, not even a text. You don't need those people in your life.
Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, have friendships if they're meaningful and if they bring benefit to your life, not like in a, oh, I have to use you as a person. No, benefit in terms of, it enriches your life and you enrich their lives. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, like literally touch them and ask, do you spark joy?
Do you bring joy?
Do you bring joy? You bring me joy.
Yeah. The other day, Mama touched you and she said, she doesn't bring me joy, I'll get rid of her.
That actually happened.
Anyway, sorry, back to the point. So friendships are great, but if they stress you out, they're probably not good friendships.
Yeah.
Try and fix it, but if not,
because there's
okay.
So many things in life that are going to be very draining and very challenging. Friendships don't have to be like that. Yes, you go through hard times together, you go through challenging times together, and those will probably be the ones that last, but you don't have to be burdened by the ones you don't want to have.
Yeah, and that's okay. You don't have to like be mean to that friend. Just just let it fizzle out and then just.
Okay, if you have any stories that you want to share, any comments about friendships or relationships that you want to let us know, please leave them in the comments down below.
Thanks for listening to today's episode, and we'll see you next time.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.